Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandra's Cave. Today we are gonna be talking about the Klabautermann concept in One Piece. So I know the story is very on fire at the moment with God Valley, everything. We had a couple of breaks as well in the middle, but I want to do as well some other videos, some other discussions like I've been doing, for example, Absalom. I've been talking about Hawkback as well a little bit. Characters from pre-time skip that I love, or characters that maybe are on the sidelines of the story and we never realized. To draw the Klabautermann, I think I want to do with my right hand, okay, because it's a small character, it's a tiny character. And it can join this other playlist that I have with drawing characters with my left hand that I'm gonna put here the playlist so you can look. I have Shushu and Gaimon, a couple of guys I drawn like this. So I think we're gonna try to do. I am not very good, so let's see what is gonna be the end result of this. Okay, I don't think I picked a nice pencil because this one is a little bit too small, so maybe I'm just gonna take one of. I have an old pencil here that I don't normally use. This is Academy Sketching brand. Don't normally use it, but it can be interesting for now, maybe to try, just to see how it feels. As you can see, it's still a massive pencil and everything, so we're gonna try to do with this one, okay? It's better for the grip, so I can actually hold it here. The tiny one is too small, so it actually falls, so it's a little bit uncomfortable. So let's see. I put it in the middle. Let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna make a static pose today. He's gonna be here, okay, and I'm gonna make the shape more or less with pencil. I just wanna do the initial lines. I'm not gonna go into details because obviously it's my non-dominant hand, but the details we will do it with the pen in a moment. So, what is the Klabautermann? The Klabautermann basically is the spirit of the ship. This is a story that when we are in Water 7 and we meet Frankie and we meet Galela and all these guys, a lot of topics regarding ships comes to the story, and I love it. I love, that one of the things that I love the most about One Piece is basically the lore. Apart of, Luffy and the characters and the powers and everything, the lore, the stories, the mythology within One Piece, that all of those details that constitute world building is what makes you believe in the story, okay? And if you pay attention to things like this, you will realize that all the successful stories, let's say Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Dragon Ball, just to name a couple, they have a very nice world building. They make you fall into this world and be inside, and that is very interesting, and that is very good for when doing character design as well, when doing storytelling, when doing world building. So basically, when we are there, and there is a moment, you guys know that Usopp has a fight with Luffy, they argue, and Usopp ends up leaving the crew temporarily. Usopp takes the Merī because the Merī is very, very damaged and is gonna sink anytime. And all of this is happening at the same time that Aqua Laguna is coming. So, Aqua Laguna is coming, and we do have the Frankie, that is the bad guy of the saga in theory. We have Frankie around, and they offer Usopp to leave the ship. They know the ship is broken, but they offer him to put it in the warehouse under the bridge that they have. So you have the twins are there as well, and Frankie is there, and they are talking. Usopp is trying to fix the ship. And Frankie punches him, they realize, he throws him in the water, and he realizes that the ship is so damaged that he's not going to be able to repair it. So Frankie goes into this mythology of sailors about if the ship is a happy ship, let's say, and you have been taking care of him, very nice and everything. I'm talking about him like it's a person, but because this is the whole concept of the Klabautermann. This spirit of the ship will materialize like a ghost, okay? Normally like a hooded ghost, like a sailor, and he will help you, and he will try to fix it and things like this. This is something that, for example, Usopp, that is very fantasy focused. He's a very imaginative guy, very fantasy focused. He's obviously in disbelief, but he has his emotions there regarding the ship, because he wants these things to be real. So the whole story with Water 7 happens. We go through all of this, and then there is this moment, okay, in a previous saga, that is Skypiea, that he knows, Usopp knows and wants this to be real, because Usopp has seen this before. Usopp, when the ship went from Mocktown with the knock-up stream to the sky, there it was badly damaged, and it ended up in the sacrifice altar in the island above the clouds and everything. And you see how Usopp is going in the middle of the night to pee. He there is sleeping. He gets up. He separates from the group. He goes to pee, and he can see the ship. He can see the Going Merry from afar, and there is like this kind of sound that someone is working with a hammer close to him, and he's surprised. He's looking at the ship. He's looking at everything. He can't see anything, but then he realizes there's like a figure, like a person there, and he can't understand what's happening there. So Usopp, that is basically the shipwright of the Going Merry up until Frankie joins. Usopp is the one who the Going Merry joins the crew as well with Usopp at the same time. Usopp knew the ship from before, because that was Kaya's ship from his village and everything. Usopp has like a story. Usopp has been like a brother basically for the ship. He's been fixing it all the time. When Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, they were fighting, they were breaking it, or when Wapol was eating a piece of it and everything. And the perfect person to visualize, to see, to realize of this kind of spirit is Usopp. So basically, there are other ships probably that we could understand that had a really nice relationship with the captains, let's say, for example, or with the crew, and this can be seen in the story. We only have so far, I think, one other instance of someone who may have seen the Klabautermann as such, and I would say, in my personal opinion, this could be Whitebeard. Whitebeard, now with the whole Rocks story and Rocks flashbacks and everything, he's a proper pirate. He's like a fighter and everything. I don't regard him as the sentimental type of person, but because he's a family man, and what he created there in his crew is a family. I suppose the ship, the Moby Dick, is one more of this family. Is the house of the family, the palace of these guys that they're living there. Okay, and I guess like the rest of the ships, because they have multiple replicas of the same ship. So when he's fighting in Marineford, and we see the how I will call it, let's say the end, his end, when he's gonna die, basically, when he knows that he's gonna jump and he's gonna die and fight to the death. He sees that obviously Akainu is dropping all these meteorites type of lava things in the harbor, destroying the ice, destroying the ships, and destroying the Moby Dick. The Moby Dick is burning, is sinking slowly, and Whitebeard turns around and he talks to the ship like it's a person, like it's a brother, like it's a son as well, okay? And he says, thank you as well, like something very Usopp. He says, thank you, you have been the house, blah, blah, blah. He explains, he goes for a little bit in his experience from the ship, and then the ship sinks. So, With this, I read that Whitebeard at some point must have seen the Klabautermann of his own ship as well. And that is a very beautiful story because what I said before, Whitebeard is a very good pirate, a very epic pirate, like Jonko and everything. And now we are learning his whole evolution, and it's very interesting because I wouldn't have expected that. I wouldn't expect, let's say, Zoro, Sanji, see something like this, even less Whitebeard, okay? And then we have as well this nice moment when they are in crisis. I'm gonna jump already into 0.1, okay, to do the line work. When they are in crisis, because in the Tower of Justice, when they are trying to save Nico Robin, they get to the point that everything is being destroyed by the Buster called in Enies Lobby, and they cannot escape. They don't have any way of escaping. They are trying to basically board one of the warships, take one of the warships, and escape like that, and it's been impossible. And then all of this while Luffy is fighting still Orochi, when Usopp is in the kind of cliff, shouting at Luffy to be safe and everything. And again, Usopp is the one who hears Merī first. Merī is saying, "Jump, jump, jump! You still have wine, Nakamura, and everything. I'm here." So Merī, on his own accord, has traveled from Water 7 during Aqua Laguna to Enies Lobby, the spirit of the ship, the personification of the ship, so he can rescue his Nakama. He can rescue his family. That is beautiful. That made me very emotional the first time I read it, the second time, the third time. I read it like 1,000 times. And that is something very, in my opinion, very beautiful. Very beautiful. We can't deny that One Piece has many moments that it makes you teary a little bit, and this is one of them. This, for me, in my opinion, this, like Nami, like Nico Robin, is one of those moments that makes you very emotional, okay? So you can think how this ship that was half destroyed, that Frankie broke even more and threw in the warehouse in the middle of the Aqua Laguna, how that ship ended up in Enies Lobby. So basically, there is this mini scene where Iceberg is telling us that in the middle of the Aqua Laguna, in the middle of the night, he was walking around the cemetery of ships. That this is where Frankie had all his ships as well before, when the Galela started basically and everything. There he found the ship, and the ship was calling at him. So it's not only the presence of this, mystical being in the series. It is the reality of a character. Like he has his own character. It's like you are designing a full character. Merī itself, it's another character, and the Klabautermann, it's his personification. So he decided to show himself to Iceberg, and Iceberg, he said, please fix me. I need to sail one last time. I need to save my friends, my Nakamas. So Iceberg, obviously knowing all the things as well from mythology, from shipwrights and everything, like Frankie knows, because they were partners with Tom, and Tom trained them. Imagine, I don't think he ever seen this, because he's like a businessman, I will say. So imagine this for someone like him, for someone who is working in a job for many years, that this happens. So that is crazy. So he ends up, this is a little bit mech. Well, it's my left hand, sorry about it, but we said at the beginning that I'm gonna try to do drawing like this. So drawing with your non-dominant hand, in my case with the left hand, it stimulates your brain. It stimulates your brain in a way that is very good for you, okay? It's like if you want to try to eat as well, or do any kind of things with the other hand, it's gonna help you strengthen your brain, we will say, a little bit, okay? So let's do, I'm gonna do just something like this for the legs, okay? So as I said, he decides to present himself to iceberg. The Merī is not stupid. He knows that this guy is a shipwright. He knows he's in an island of shipwrights, and this is the boss, basically. There is no better person to ask, fix me. Iceberg surprised, like, I don't know, something crazy just happened. But actually, something crazy just happened, like a ghost, basically. He follows his heart. He decides to fix the ship. The ship on his own sails, like there is this wave, like destiny is helping Luffy here. The wave from the Aqua Laguna is putting the ship again on the water and starts sailing, disappears in the horizon, and Iceberg is like basically not believing what just happened. And later we know when Merī appears, is calling Usopp, is calling everyone, and then when Usopp realizes, he shouts to everyone, hey, we have one Nakama last here, we have one more, and they are able to basically remember Merī. They decide to jump and everything, very beautiful in that scene. I would have jumped as well, so nice. And they leave. They are very excited, very happy. They think the Merī is fixed and they can keep traveling with him for a little bit. But then obviously, this is to escape Enies Lobby. The Merī takes them back to Water 7, and on the way, halfway, we have Iceberg with one of his biggest ships that is heading that way as well after the Aqua Laguna to basically help them, help Frankie, help everyone that has been going there as well, the Frankie family as well, everyone. And in the middle of the way, the Merī breaks. He was holding there until he couldn't hold more, and as soon as he saw the other ship arriving, being next to them, they kind of welcome them and everything, then breaks into pieces, and they basically is like, well, we already knew this, we need to get out of here. And they do this kind of burial for the Merī, very Viking style. Basically, that was a very, very, very sentimental moment. Everyone crying, me crying a lot as well watching that moment. And it is one of those moments that makes One Piece big, like a big thing, like a very nice, very interesting, very beautiful thing, something that I will recommend to anyone who wants to enjoy a beautiful story, a nice story with all the adventure, emotion, and crisis and everything. And I love it. So basically, they are on a boat, separated a little bit from the Merī, and all of them in a line. There's even figurines of this, very beautiful. And then Luffy's in another boat, a smaller one, goes closer to the Merī, puts fire, and the Merī starts burning. And as it burns, it's sinking slowly, like in a Viking funeral, basically. And everyone is excited, crying, emotion, and everything there. And we see how that is emotional moment. But at that moment is when that happens. That then the Merī starts talking to all of them. Until that moment, nothing kind of mystical happened apart from the Merī showing up there. When the Merī shows, they think that someone has brought it, and obviously they are more reluctant to believe in the spirit because they are more adults, let's say. Usopp is the most kid with Chopper, and then Luffy. And those are the ones who would believe this story straight away. But as I said, like Robin, Zorro, they wouldn't believe this straight away. And then when they are doing this, we see, look, we have the light and everything here today for this emotional moment. And when the Merī starts talking to them and he says thank you, because Luffy there starts apologizing, like, I'm sorry, I broke you many times, Luffy, Zorro as well, and Sanji, and we were fighting, and Usopp was fixing you all the time, and everyone is crying, so emotional. And then Merī says that he's been very happy. Look, I just got goosebumps a little bit. He's been very happy with them. He's very happy for the trip that they've done and everything. And yeah, so there is this kind of exchange of last words while he's singing, and he's basically just keep traveling, keep doing your own adventures and everything. I will be looking out for you. Like when someone that you love dies and everything is a very big emotion there, and then yeah, I think they even done a special, I think, with the Merī, where you can see the Merī with different colors as well, like a different kind of take, more yellowish, like there is there in the sunny. And there is a moment where this Klabautermann shows up. Some people can understand that maybe this is the Klabautermann of the sunny because it's yellow. While when we seen this one from the Going Merī, it was more like a ghost, like a bluish, dark in the mist, like a white ghost. But that's why I'm gonna do only a little bit of shadows probably, and maybe I add a little bit of blue and that's it. So maybe that one in that special animation could have been the sunny. We know that all these things that done in the specials, in the movies, in all these extra bits and pieces from One Piece that are not canon, are not canon, as far as we know. So if there is another extra Klabautermann, we don't know for real. But it is interesting. It is interesting to see. I like it, and it makes the lore more beautiful. If there are other examples of people that they have seen Klabautermann, it can be very, very interesting. Apparently, Klabautermann, it's a real story. Like it's a real concept from, I think, from Germany, ancient times, and basically. Again, like Oda is using it here, if the ship was very happy, let's say, with the crew, with the travels and everything, there will be this kind of sailor type of figure, but it was more realistic, obviously. Here is more cartoon. And that figure, it will kind of, let's say, bless, for example, the voyages and things like this. There are some other translations of these stories as well, where is the other way around, that this ghost or spirit of the ship would appear when the ship has been basically abandoned. Like no one is actually caring about the ship, they don't take care of the ship and everything, and this will be like a furious and a raging type of ghost, basically. Obviously all of these are legends and myths, and you can find them as well in many other places and many other cultures, but it is very interesting because the name and everything, and I like when Oda does his research. It is not that, oh, this was invented already and I'm just copying it. He's kind of adapting it to his story, and at the same time it is not something new. So I like it. I want to know as well your opinion about the Klabautermann. If you think there are more characters around that have showcased this kind of feeling, like Usopp, or the feeling I was telling you about Whitebeard, that for me it gives me the impression that he has seen as well the Klabautermann of the Moby Dick. If you think there are other guys around, not because you think, I think, for example, Trafalgar Law has seen as well the Klabautermann. Not in that sense. In the sense of there is this scene, this moment, that because of this moment, it makes me think that maybe Trafalgar Law has seen as well, or maybe Eustace Kid, or maybe anyone, or maybe Blackbeard, I don't know. But if you have any other moment in One Piece that you are feeling like it may give hints of Klabautermann, you can share it in the comment section down below, and we can discuss it, and I can go back and check it and read it. I have here all the comics and all the mangas, and I can have a quick look to see what we can see. If it is only anime as well, feel free to put the number of the episode so we can find it and have a look. But it can be an interesting game for us to do here in the channel a little bit, and find out if there are actually more moments like this, because there are a lot of pirates with good heart. Okay, we know Gold Roger and we know other guys that they were good guys. They could be good pirates that originally in One Piece, when I don't know if you read the kind of the first draft of One Piece, the first, let's say, romance down, there was this concept that the hat was being given to Luffy by Garp, not by Shanks, and there was this concept of Peace Main, that they were the good pirates, and Buccaneers, that way they were the bad pirates, and Luffy was meant to be a Peace Main. And I think later that evolved into calling the story One Piece, having the good pirates, and have it now recently as well the Buccaneers showing up and being a different race in the story and everything. So Oda is kind of recycling some of the things that he used in the past, and that is very, very good for world building and very interesting. Okay, so I think I want to do maybe a little bit of a halo around with the blue. So I'm just doing some lines, so I have some lines around, but I think a little bit of halo here like this is in order, like a little bit ghostly, ghastly. And as well, now that we are going into the Halloween season, we are starting Halloween now here as well. Yes, that's why I wanted to draw Absalom Hawkback as well. It was a request as well. But the Klabautermann, that it's a ghost as well, is interesting concept for this October month and everything. And yeah, as well, now that it's October as well, I wanna say here that I'm doing the Inktober challenge, that I'm gonna put one of the videos here, the latest video here. The Inktober challenge is gonna be a challenge during the whole month of October that I'm doing, but I'm participating. I'm not organizing it, I'm participating in it. And I've been doing it for many years, and basically you draw a prompt, a word, every day for the whole month, and then you post the drawings. I am gonna be doing every Wednesday during the month of October video here about that, and every day on Instagram I'm putting the daily prompt. That this year I'm doing a story, like a comic. Okay, so feel free to go click down there in the Instagram link, and you can see all the story if you want to see it. Okay, that's an invitation as well to see more content that is non-One Piece related that you may like a little bit as well. Okay, so I'm doing it like this. I remember my first time seeing the image of the Klabautermann, and he looks at Usopp there from the ship, and Usopp is like, what's going on here? And then he disappears, and when he goes there, the ship has been fixed, and super funny because the ship had some ads on, like to look like a chicken, to be able to fly up the knock-up stream. When Usopp realizes in the morning of the ship being fixed, it looks exactly like the original design. So it's like, who has done this? Who knows that the Merry was looking like this, if when we arrived here it was looking like a chicken, basically? And I love it. I love that those parts, that even if it is mythology and mysticism, Oda is giving the hints of cartoon, of comedy, and of you know, with the chicken thing and everything. I find it very interesting, very, very lovable, very lovable. And I love Merry. I love the Sunny as well, but I have to confess, because I am pre-time skip reader, my ship will always be the Going Merry. I was on a trip a few weeks ago, and I was on a shop, on a toy shop, that they had figurines and everything. I got a couple of things for my shelves, and they had a very, very, very nice, very expensive as well, replica of the Merry, of the Going Merry. It's not one of those that is like a puzzle that you put together as a puzzle. It was like I think a proper figurine, looking very nice, quite big, and oh wow, that would have been so nice on my shelf. But obviously that is we were talking about major money for that one. But I love to visit the shops and see things like this, to see if I can gather some things for my place. And yeah, let's do the last lines. I think this is gonna be everything for today. Drawing the Klabautermann with my left hand, and trying to explain to you what is the Klabautermann, and where have we seen it, and others that they might have seen it. Okay, I dropped Whitebeard. It is my opinion, my take, and I want to know yours as well. And I want to know as well a very important thing, now that we are talking about Klabautermanns, are we gonna see the Sonny Klabautermann in the manga? Is the Sonny gonna be in crisis at some point, like the Going Merry? I don't want the Sonny to be destroyed as such, or I don't want him to die like Going Merry, but at some point he should be heavily damaged, that Frankie needs to fix it, okay? And because this is the new world, and this is the end of the story, and everyone needs to end up a little bit scarred from this, with wounds, ship included. And I want to know your opinion, if that's going to happen, how this may happen as well, and against who, probably. Now that we have the God's Knights, Emu, the world government, the Blackbeard and everything, it is very interesting. And now, just now to close the video, because the drawing is done, I just want to say, we are talking about mythology, and I have been saying for a very long time the mythology of Davy Jones, the mythology of the Kraken. I'm gonna put a video here talking about the Kraken and Blackbeard, basically how these two concepts connect. And it's a theory I've done ages ago, but now that we are talking about mythologies and Davy Jones, it comes again to my mind, it comes again to the present. And now that I think about the Klabautermann, stories from sailors, mythologies like mermaids as well, like all the folklore regarding sea, it needs to happen. It needs to happen in the story. And it makes sense that apart from Surume, that we have Surume in the Gyujin Island saga, we have this concept of the Kraken expanded. So in that Blackbeard theory, basically, about mythology, I love mythology, I read about mythology all the time, about Norse mythology, ancient mythology, like Egypt as well, about, you know, any type of mythology I can find around, I am reading all the time. And as I could read here, mythology about Klabautermann, I can read as well in that concept, mythology about the Kraken. Okay, so keep an eye on that video, and whenever it is that Oda is going to give us more information about all of this happening with Blackbeard, let's come back there and let's talk a little bit more in that video about what's happening, okay? I'm gonna sign for today. Let's see. To write is more difficult. This is DavidViadel. Whoop. 23, DavidViadel23. You can say that you want, and this is the Mandragon's Cave. I hope you enjoyed the video of today, this mini drawing, left-hand drawing about Klabautermann. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for subscribing. A lot of people have been subscribing lately, for following, for commenting, liking and everything. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to see that people on the other side of the screen, you are there watching this and enjoying the video. And thanks. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.